It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host, Ben, and I missed yesterday's crypto update because we've been having some technical difficulties. I don't know what is going on. First Solana, now us. Bitcoin got rejected off of that 48.5 area. So that is going to be some resistance. We can see right here on the daily chart where it just double top there on these two candles. And a double top from two wicks like this, where they're very close, if not the exact same point, leads to a sell-off. So we've had that sell-off. So far, we have pushed back up over the 10-day and holding above 47,000. We need to see a bounce here tonight into Saturday or Saturday into Sunday to see this break back above that 48.5 area. If the 10-day doesn't hold here, we're going to see Bitcoin back to 45. Now this pullback on Bitcoin is also happening on Ethereum. Ethereum started looking primed to go there, but you can see it has cracked the 10-day. It is trying to hold up this 33.5 area of support, maybe the 3,300. This candle here, followed by this bearish red candle, is a bearish signal. So I think we'll probably see Ethereum on down to the 50-day here at 3,200. And if that doesn't hold, we'll see it down to 3,000. But we're probably going to need a few days for Ethereum to rebound and come back up. Cardano tried to get back above that 250 area, got rejected again, and now it's trying to hold 230 again. So Cardano is testing the 230 support and also trying to test the 250 resistance. But we could continue sideways in this channel for a few days before any move to the up or downside happens. If it does crack, which it doesn't seem like it will with all this buying pressure, $2 seems to be very, very strong buying area. This has gotten down to 220 a couple of times in the past 2 weeks. And it got bought right back up. And again, now hitting 230 and getting bought up. So we'll see. My biggest concern, and you can see it a little bit better on Cardano here long term on the daily, is that we had a nice run up, had a nice pullback and bounce. And this has been a pretty nice bounce. So we could come all the way back down to the trend line. And that's a similar thing with Ethereum being on an uptrend as well. Because of the pullback we're having right now, ALGORAND has cracked out of the bottom of this triangle, no longer making that upwards momentum, and it's more or less just in a little channel. This little skinny candle here, followed by this bearish red candle, is also a bearish indicator. That's a bearish engulfing candle, pretty much. Yeah, you can see both the tops of the bodies there. So that's an engulfing bearish. We'll probably see a little bit more of a sell-off on ALGORAND. We may see it back down to 150 if it doesn't hold this 185, 190 area. Now, Atom not having too terribly bad of a pullback. It did run all the way up to 38, got rejected there again, down to 32 and pushing back up. Still looking good, just going sideways near these new highs that it's made. Now, despite the pullback, we have Avalanche still ripping. So if you've been in Avalanche, very nice job. I just started talking about this one this week, and it's made some nice moves bouncing off that 50 and now just continuing to rip up to 70, almost to 75. So very nice there, and that's all-time highs on Avalanche that it just pushed for. So that's pretty bullish. So we're not in a bear market. Right now we're just kind of in this consolidation market where we're seeing a couple of altcoins really pop. Take a look at the top gainers, IOTA. This one, I think, is on Voyager. It may be on Coinbase as well, but you can see it's starting to push up. So a little bullish move out of there, testing that 175 area. If it can break that, it could go back up to 2 again. 2 is going to be very strong resistance, but break over 2, we could possibly see that up to 3 to make new highs at some point. And then Poly, it's up 9%, still consolidating. This is a pretty ugly pattern. But it's just pretty much consolidating, not really doing a whole lot, but just starting to pop again. So if we start seeing some buying volume like back in here, that could make another move. But this has been pretty bullish since it broke out of this triangle. So one to keep an eye on here is Dash. It's trying to get back above 200 and hold. If it can hold 200, this could be a possible decent entry. I'm going to be watching to see if it holds there. Right at this second, though, this is a pretty bearish pattern, so it might have another little sell-off tomorrow, or maybe some consolidation sideways tomorrow, but looking for it to break this downtrend that it's in. Now, POLKADOT having a pretty strong pullback there, getting rejected off of that 38 level, but still holding up 33. So as long as it holds 33 right across there, if this is new support, then we could see it bounce off there and continue its run up. This just looks like normal consolidation. We had a bigger pullback back here on the way up than this even is. So POLKADOT's still looking bullish as long as it bounces. So farm, we're getting close. We're like 2 or 3 days max from this starting to try to pop out of this big wedge that it is in on the daily chart. This is the whole daily chart. So yeah, like 1 or 2 days. Now we're looking like we're going to close today probably in a bit of a doji. So tomorrow, if we see farm start pushing up above 210, then I would say we could see farm go ahead and possibly rip. If tomorrow we see farm drop below 205 and start testing 200 support, we could see it dump out of this triangle. So tomorrow and the next day are going to be very important on this play. Fetch.AI, it's been in this upward sloping channel, cracked it here today, which is a little concerning. Fetch needs to jump back up above 90 cents like pretty soon, like by the night. If it doesn't, we may see a pretty nasty pullback on Fetch to like at 75, possibly even 65 area. I'm still holding my whole position on this at the moment, but I am starting to get paper hands, so I'm going to give it a little bit longer tonight to see if it's going to continue to rebound. If not, I'll get out of this for now, get in something else, and wait for it to come back down to 65. I do like this project a lot, but I'm not just going to hold buying up here at these prices without it continuing to run. Golem is a sneaky one to keep a little eye on. GLM. Not too long ago, about 2 weeks ago, this had a nice move all the way up to 80 cents. I think it was all-time highs. Yeah, it looks like all-time highs. Has pulled back to 50 cents. 50 cents held as very strong support. And you can see today it's popped all the way up to 60 cents at one point. Still getting pushed back down, but very bullish on the daily chart. 200's down here, 50's here, and it's above the 10-day right at the moment. So a little bit more buying volume, we can see that push up. You can see Luna is in this flag pattern. It is cracking a little bit, but still held above this low at 33.23. So I'm still expecting Luna to come back up here, maybe push up to the top of that triangle tomorrow at 38 or maybe 37-ish and consolidate a little bit more before it breaks out. If it doesn't hold here and it drops below 33, it could pull all the way back to 27, so do be aware of that, which will put it back in this channel between 25 and 35. Now, SHIB was ripping yesterday. I was really interested to see this. The 10-day did cross over the 50, and SHIB almost popped to the top of that channel. Now, it did get pushed back down, but this is actually pretty good where it's holding at. It's holding most of the gains from yesterday. We do have a little selling pressure there, of course, but I think tomorrow, if we're still in this 508 area, we could see it push back up, especially if Bitcoin and Ethereum maybe start heating up, but not looking too bad in this long channel. At some point, Shiba's going to have a breakout, and a pretty big one. Whether it's up or down, who knows yet, but that's what this type of consolidation leads to. So I would say Solana, pretty bearish right now. Cracked below that support area. This has been what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This has been 9 days in a row of red. We are getting some buy-in pushing this up, but we saw the same thing here, and it still kept dumping. Until it breaks this trend line, it can continue to sell right down it like I've been talking about. Now we do have the uptrend right there, so the 50-day The uptrend both around 1.8 to 120. We may see it get down to there before we get a bounce. So that's all the coins I'm going to cover today. Let's hop into CoinDesk, see what's going on here. So we got New Jersey and it looks like Texas taking on Celsius. Both hit with 2 security actions in one day. I don't know anything about Celsius, but if you're familiar with Celsius, you might want to check that out. And now you got Alabama saying the same thing about Celsius. Biden administration plans cryptocurrency sanctions to combat ransomware. Ew. That may put a damper on the market. That may be why we're seeing these pullbacks, but it also could just be fluff to scare people out of the market. I really don't know what to say about that. I'm going to read into this to see about these sanctions, though. What a great picture of him. Don't he look like a happy guy? Looks like he's having a blast. That yellow and blue tie, man. You must like Michigan Wolverines. Looks like a sad guy. Anyway, they're planning an array of actions to mitigate ransomware attacks with focus on payments. And they did not specify how the sanctions might be used. And a Treasury Department spokesperson declined to comment, as these sanctions will single out specific targets rather than the overall crypto industry. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it. Additional anti-money laundering regulations may take effect that will bar crypto payments for illegal uses, such as paying ransoms. All my crypto users out there, there's a lot of people who use crypto. How many of them do you think actually are holding people for ransom and using crypto as a payment method? This is such nonsense. And then not only that, man, cash is way easier to money launder than cryptos. This is nonsense. This is just another attack on cryptos. People in power do not want cryptos to be the main source. If that is the currency, then they lose the power. So basically, Apple allowed a fake wallet in their Apple store, and this guy lost $500, the one doing the article, but hundreds or thousands of users were victimized of the Toast Plus scam. Over $5 million in cryptocurrency was stolen. So they're doing a class action lawsuit against Apple. Wow. Around 2% of Apple Store's top grossing apps are scams. Ugh. So that's it for this crypto update. You can see the news headlines are kind of ugly. A lot of bad stuff. Looks like that's probably why the market's having a pullback. Fear from the Biden administration trying to regulate and stop money laundering in the cryptocurrency blockchain world. Just be aware that we may see a big drop in cryptos because of these regulations. However, that will not destroy cryptos. All it's going to do is make more people adopt them and give us all chances to buy in at cheap prices again. Now, I don't think we'll see crazy drops to where we might see like Bitcoin back down to 10 or 15,000. Either way, in the midst of all this craziness and chaos that the wild, wild west of cryptos is bringing, you just got to be smart. Lock in profits when you got some. Don't buy garbage. Make sure you're doing your own due diligence and keeping that technical analysis sharp. If there's any coins that I'm not currently covering on a weekly basis that you would like me to cover, leave them down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts about Biden's unhappy picture that he took there about cryptos. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.